it introduces, for the first time, female Thor. So, for us, there's only one person who could play that role. Only one. And she's here. I'm going to introduce her to you now. Please welcome to the stage, Natalie Portman.
Hey guys, Mr. Everything here, back with another movie news video, and in today's video, I'm going to be talking about the real star of Thor Love and Thunder revealed. Alright, so this news is coming from Taika Waititi, the writer and director himself. He directed Thor Ragnarok, and he's coming back to direct this film as well. And he was in an interview, and he answered who is the real star of Thor Love and Thunder. Now, before we get into this video, a little backstory. So this film was announced at San Diego Comic-Con in July, along with a bunch of other Marvel projects, and they brought out the full cast on stage, and then they brought out Natalie Portman, who is returning as Jane Foster, but most importantly, a new Thor, the mighty Thor. Now, this was great news for a lot of people, but it sort of got mixed reactions, and I can understand that. Overall, I was pretty excited, but I was also a little bit mixed, because like most people, Jane Foster is by far one of the worst MCU characters. Like, not the worst character probably, but she was, one of the weaker love interests, and just overall, she wasn't a great written character. Her character wasn't that great. They didn't have much for Natalie Portman to do, and it's not Natalie Portman's fault because Natalie Portman is a great actress, which is why I was excited to see that she's coming back, because they actually have something for her to do this time. And I'm assuming that's how that phone call went, because they probably called Natalie Portman up and they said, hey, we actually have something for you to do this time. You're going to be the mighty Thor in this film. You're going to have a bunch of action to do. You're not just going to be the boring love interest. We're going to have some great written dialogue, just basic character things that they didn't have in the other two Thor movies, and they sort of just completely ignored the Natalie Portman character for the last few films. She was glossed over in Thor Ragnarok. She wasn't mentioned in Endgame or Infinity War. She had an appearance in Endgame, but that cameo was actually a deleted scene from Thor The Dark World, so she didn't actually shoot anything for that film. I like what Taika Waititi did with Thor Ragnarok, and I'm assuming he's going to bring that same flavor to this film. Now, like I said earlier, a lot of people were confused. Wait, so she's going to be the new Thor. Is she going to overshine Chris Hemsworth's Thor? Is she going to be like the main star of this film? And luckily, the director, Taika Waititi, came out in an interview and said that no, she will not be the real star of Thor Love and Thunder. The main and real star of this film is Chris Hemsworth's Thor, which I absolutely love. So just getting into my personal opinions, which by the way, I'm assuming some of you may agree, some of you may disagree, but in my opinion, I hate when other characters are replaced by these other ripoff characters. For example, you can give somebody the shield, but they're not Captain America. And although I love that moment at the end of Endgame, it was super emotional, it was the perfect end to this character's arc. I loved it. It was great. Steve Rogers is Captain America. Falcon is not Captain America. Bucky Barnes, the Winter Soldier, is not Captain America. And I know it was in the comics and it was great. It was cool. It was cool on paper. But in the films, it doesn't work. Now, sure, you can give Falcon the shield. You can give Bucky the shield. And that's all dandy and cool. But they're not Captain America. They can't call themselves Captain America. Maybe the world can, but I don't see that. Same thing with Iron Man. Oh, who's going to be the next Iron Man? Will Ironheart replace Iron Man? Will Spider-Man be the next Iron Man? No, Spider-Man is Spider-Man, and whoever else dons the Iron Man armor, whether it be his daughter or maybe Pepper Potts puts it back on, they'll just be Iron people, but they won't be Iron Man. Same exact thing with this Thor situation. Thor is Thor. I don't want some other person with Thor-like powers. Like in this movie, Natalie Portman plays the mighty Thor. Sure, she can be another Thor, but she is not the OG Thor. I don't want to see a bunch of moments in this film where she completely overshines Chris Hemsworth because, oh, she's the mighty Thor now. If she's going to be badass in this film, make her badass. Don't belittle the old Thor in order to make her look badass. So I'm super glad to hear this news. I think this is the perfect way to go. Natalie Portman, she could be badass. She could be a main character in the film, but the real star of this film is Thor. and I love that. But anyway, you guys comment down below and give me your thoughts on this. Be sure to like, subscribe, you guys are new. Check out my other movie news videos, store videos, Marvel videos, and have a great rest of your day. All right, bye guys.